डाली का गाड़ी
How have you been keeping? You're back?
라디오인가? Tapi mereka always young.
To keep their phones in silent. Thank you. With the permission of the Honorable Chief Justice, may I commence with the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. A warm welcome to you all. Mr. Prem Singh Tamam, Honorable Chief Minister of Sikkim, Honorable Mr. Justice Vishwanath Shomadar, Chief Justice, High Court of Sikkim, and Patron-in-Chief, Sikkim State Legal Services Authority and Sikkim Judicial Academy, Mr. Arun Kumar Upreti, the Honorable Speaker, Sikkim Legislative Assembly, Honorable Mrs. Justice Meenakshi Madan Rai, Judge, High Court of Sikkim, and Executive Chairperson, Sikkim State Legal Services Authority, Honorable Mr. Justice Bhaskar Raj Pradhan, Judge, High Court of Sikkim, and Chairperson, Sikkim Judicial Academy, Mr. Sanjeev Karel, Honorable Minister, Buildings and Housing Department, Honorable Mr. Justice A.P. Subba, former Judge, High Court of Sikkim, and Chairperson, Lokayukta Sikkim, Honorable Mr. Justice Sanam Pinso Wongdi, former Judge, High Court of Sikkim, and former Judicial Member, National Green Tribunal, and presently Chairperson, Police Accountability Commission. Mr. Tashi Dorji Tamam, Chairman, Buildings and Housing Department, Mr. G.T. Dungel, Member of Sikkim Legislative Assembly, Government of Sikkim, Mr. V.B. Pathak, Chief Secretary, Government of Sikkim, Learned Additional Advocate Generals of Sikkim, Learned Senior Advocates, Learned Registrar General, High Court of Sikkim, Learned Director, Sikkim Judicial Academy, Learned Principal District and Sessions Judge and District and Session Judges of Gangtok District, Learned Registrar Judicial Service and Learned Central Project Coordinator, High Court of Sikkim, the Secretary, Buildings and Housing Department, the Director General of Police, the Secretary to the Honorable Chief Minister of Sikkim, Legal Remembrancer, cum Secretary, Law Department, Government of Sikkim, members of Sikkim Judicial Service, the Councillor of this ward, the Senior Superintendent of Police, Learned Deputy Solicitor General of India, the President and Executive Members of Bar Association of Sikkim and its members, officers from Buildings and Housing Departments and other departments, Government of Sikkim, members of Consumer Commission and High Court Lok Adalat, officers and staff of the Registry of High Court of Sikkim, representatives of IPR Department, Government of Sikkim, members of the press and media, ladies and gentlemen. In Brij Mohan Lal versus Union of India and others, the Honorable Supreme Court, while declaring that Article 21 of the Constitution of India guarantees to the citizens the rights to expeditious and fair trial, observed as follows. It is the constitutional duty of the government to provide the citizens of the country with such judicial infrastructure and means of access to justice so that every person is able to receive an expeditious, inexpensive and fair trial. Also, in All India Judges Association and others versus Union of India and others, it has been held, and I quote, "A court complex is not just a building. It is the building of justice which breathes and infuses life into the exalted and sublime ideals of justice. The widening gap between the ideal and the real, and between the vision and the pragmatic realization of justice has to be bridged by proper access to justice for all." Unquote. In keeping with the mandate in Brij Mohan Lal's case, the High Court of Sikkim, with the active support of the state government, has been making efforts to provide and expand judicial institutions in the state. As a part of such effort, the Honorable Chief Justice had been pleased to express the need to have a better High Court infrastructure, and this proposal was unhesitatingly accepted by the state government. Today, we are gathered here to observe the momentous occasion of foundation stone laid of the new High Court complex. I welcome you all once again. May I now request Mr. N.G. Sherpa, Learned Director, Sikkim Judicial Academy, to kindly offer khada, potted plant, and a memento to Honorable the Chief Minister, Mr. Prem Singh Kamut. Thank you, sir. Kindly offer khada, potted plant, and memento to Honorable Mr. Justice Vishwanath Shumadar, Chief Justice, High Court of Sikkim. Thank you, sir. Can I now call upon Mr. Thank you, sir. I request Mr. Jagat Bahadur Rai, Learned Member Secretary, Sikkim State Legal Services Authority, to kindly offer khada, potted plant, and memento to Honorable Mrs. Justice Meenakshi Madan Rai, Judge, High Court of Sikkim. Mr. Justice Bhaskar Raj Pradhan, High Court of Sikkim, Judge, High Court of Sikkim. I beg your pardon. Thank you, ma'am. I request Mr. Surat Chetri, Learned Legal Remembrancer, cum Legal Law Secretary, to kindly offer khada, potted plant, and memento to Mr. Sanjeev Karel, Honorable Minister, Buildings and Housing Department. Thank you, sir. I request Mr. Jeevan Karka, Learned District and Sessions Judge, Special Division 2, Gangtok District, to kindly offer khada, potted plant, and memento to Honorable Mr. Justice A.P. Subba. Learned Registrar, Judicial Service, High Court of Sikkim, is requested to kindly offer khada, potted plant, and memento to Honorable Mr. Justice Sanantan Sowongdi. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Pradhan, the Learned District and Sessions Judge, to kindly offer khada, potted plant, and memento to Mr. Anindya Mukherjee, also known to as Mr. Raja. Thank you. I now invite Mr. Praveen Kumar Pradhan, the Principal Chief Engineer cum Secretary, Buildings and Housing Department, Government of Sikkim, to kindly give a brief technical report on the project.
First of all, a very good evening to everyone present. With the permission of the Chair, I would like to present a brief report on the construction of new High Court of Sikkim at Sokeythang, Gangtok, Sikkim. The new High Court building will be a state-of-the-art, iconic building proposed to be constructed in front of the Judicial Academy, having a total area of 2.74 acres. The High Court complex will have two blocks, administrative and court block, wherein the administrative block will have 4 floors, which will house the protocol and the establishment section, confidential section, account section, computer section, VC rooms, etc. The court block, which will have 6 floors, and the details will be as under. The basement floor, having an area of 5,382 square feet, will have an entry lobby, special branch, general section, parking, driver's room, and a dormitory for security. The ground floor, having an area of 32,000 square feet, will have a lobby, filing section, dispatch, AZ, and the Deputy Solicitor General office, deck area, and computer rooms. The first floor will have a total area of 35,000 square feet, which will have an infirmary, bar rooms, rental rooms, 8 registrar rooms, courtroom, and 1 judge chamber. The second floor, having a total area of 32,000 square feet, will have judicial section, account section, confidential section, 1 judge chamber, library, conference hall, and lounge room. The third floor, having a total area of 20,000 square feet, will house the banquet hall, terrace garden, RG's office, and 1 judge chamber. The fourth floor, having an area of 11,300 square feet, will have a courtroom and officer and 1 judge chamber. The fifth floor, having a total area of 11,000 square feet, will have the Honorable Chief Justice chamber and allied facilities and 1 courtroom. Hence, the total built-up area would be 1,48,345 square feet. The building will be equipped with adequate washrooms on each floor. Finishes include vitrified tiles on floor, marble on circulation area, and court and office furniture as per the requirement and specification. The internal water supply, sanitary fittings, and external water supply, along with internal and external electrification, has been proposed as per the requirements. The buildings would have lift facilities to make it accessible to all, including specially able. Total number of 7 lifts has been proposed in the complex. It would be a green building with the solar panels and the terrace garden and the central courtyard. The building will have the state-of-the-art library. Radio frequency identification for all the officers and staff plus guests has been proposed. Further, there is a provision for parking of 90 vehicles. 45 would be a mechanized automated car park, 27 in the level 1 basement parking, and 15 in the VIP car park area. The work has been tendered and will commence soon once the work order is issued. With this word, I would like to conclude my technical report. We have a walkthrough presentation being prepared by the architectural wing of Building and Housing Department, which I would like to request all to kindly view the same on the screen. Thank you.
sir. The sincere effort and hard work of your team is truly commendable. I have the privilege to now invite Honorable Mr. Justice Vishwanath Shumadar, Chief Justice High Court of Sikkim, to kindly grace the lectern to present his welcome address.
Honorable Chief Minister Shri Prem Singh Tamang, whom I refer to as Boliji, Honorable Speaker, Honorable my colleague, my Honorable Judges of the High Court, Honorable Minister, dignitaries of the dais, which includes Honorable former judges, the Chief Secretary and the Director General of Police, the law officers of the state, all judicial officers, either serving the registry or the districts, registry officials from the top to the bottom, the members of the various religions who are here, members of the bar, senior and junior advocates, everyone present in this very important day, the calendar of Sikkim. I wish you all, and if I have left any individuals, that is certainly not intended. I needed to speak to everyone to take this opportunity. So I offer you all a very good evening. When I joined this High Court a little over 2 years ago, I was given to understand that there was a hunt for some space for a new High Court complex, because over the years and decades, this present complex has reached a point when it is almost bursting at its seams. We needed a new High Court complex. I was taken around Gangtok and shown spaces with a lot of available land. But somehow one thing crossed my mind, and that is whether if I even sanction or allow a High Court complex to be built, whether it will be easily accessible by all. The thing that was paramount in my mind is whether I am making the justice delivery system accessible to everyone, or just a privileged few who have their own vehicles, who have their own mode of communication and reach places which are inaccessible to the common man. It was this thing that was in my mind when I suddenly realized that there was some space available adjacent to the present Judicial Academy which could be utilized for a new High Court complex. We must remember that Sikkim is a unique state and it cannot be compared with the states which are in the plains, be it Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Bengal, Jharkhand and others. We are having a very difficult mountainous terrain, and land cannot be a plain flat land as we can get in the plains. So it is not important as to how many acres that we get, but how much space we can utilize optimally to have an institution which is accessible to all. It is this very aspect which was in my mind when I sort of zoned into this area adjacent to the Judicial Academy, and I thought that why not give it a try and then get the department to let us have their views. This is the point of time when the architectural design team of the department came up and gave their presentation before the full court about this proposed new High Court complex, which is actually the state of the art if you go by that architectural design. At this juncture, I must say that at all levels and till the laying of the foundation stone, which will happen shortly, I, as the Chief Justice of Sikkim, received full cooperation from the government at all levels, and especially from the Honorable Chief Minister, for which, as an institution, we are grateful for providing us the support we need to build an infrastructure of world-class standard. When the concept of the foundation stone laying ceremony was placed before me, I also thought about another aspect, and that is whether the temple of justice is for a few or for all. And this is what I said at the earlier part of my speech. One of the main reasons why I thought that having this land, which is far more accessible than the land that were shown to us, was a much more viable option, so that access to justice could be given to all, especially the marginalized and the downtrodden, for whom sometimes, unfortunately, the justice delivery system does not reach in the manner in which it should. The other thing is, today is again unique in another way. I thought that why not understand the constitutional scheme? We have three pillars of democracy, and all of us know that it's the executive, the legislature and the judiciary. So if we have the head of the political executive here, why not have the head of the legislature also? Which is the reason why the Honorable Speaker is also with us. And I would always believe that if the three pillars of democracy work in tandem rather in confrontation, it becomes a more productive democracy than if you are at loggerheads with each other at every period of time. We all know as political scientists, political science students, that each of these pillars are checks and balances against each other. But if we adopt a path of mutual mutual partnership in progress of democracy rather than a confrontation, then all the three pillars can contribute to a more vibrant and robust democracy. And that is why the temple of justice cannot be an institution in exclusion, but an institution in inclusion. I must thank the tireless efforts put by my registry to make this occasion happen, and in future whoever will be holding this office will be able to take a call as to whether we will keep the Judicial Academy here or transfer it to the High Court building and let the entire High Court building administration come here. That is of course a call which will be taken when the time arises. But one thing I must say, and the risk of repetition, that having the new High Court complex here with full support of the state government, it will give access to justice to one and all and not the privileged few. And that has always been my mission, to make sure that access to justice becomes a reality. And today, in this great day when the foundation stone will be laid or will be ceremonially installed, we must make a pledge to make this institution give us the product for which the institution has been created, a robust justice delivery system to one and all, and especially to the marginalized. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Due to your Lordship's foresight, the ceremony has come into fruition. Now may I invite Mr. Prem Singh Tamang, Honorable Chief Minister of Sikkim, to kindly grace the lectern and give his special address.
Thank you. Namaskar, good evening. Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Sikkim come, Patron-in-Chief of the Sikkim State Legal Services Authority, Honorable Sri Justice Vishwanath Samandraji, Honorable Speaker, Sikkim Legislative Assembly, Sri Arun Kumar Upreti ji, Honorable Judge, High Court of Sikkim, and the Executive Chairman of the Sikkim State Legal Services Authority, Srimati Justice Meenakshi Madan Rai Madam, Honorable Judge, Sikkim High Court of Sikkim, Sri Justice Bhaskar Raj Pradhan ji, Honorable Minister, Building and Housing Department, Government of Sikkim, Sri Sanjit Kharel ji, Honorable MLA of Padam Constituency, Sri G.T. Runil ji, Honorable Chairman, Lokayukta, Sikkim and former Judge, High Court of Sikkim, Sri Justice A.T. Subha ji, Honorable former Judge, High Court of Sikkim, Sri Justice S.P. Wangdi ji, respected Chief Secretary, Government of Sikkim, Sri B.B. Pathak ji, respected Director General of Police, Sri A.K. Singh ji, respected Advocate General, Additional Advocate General, Registrar General, and officials from High Court of Sikkim and the judicial institutions across the state. Respected Secretary, Law Department, Government of Sikkim, Sri Suras Chetterji. Respected Secretary, Building and Housing Department, Sri Praveen Kumar Pradhanju, along with the officers of the department. Secretaries and officials from various departments, respected district and session judges from various courts across the state, esteemed dignitaries and honored guests on and off the dais, respected senior advocates and scholars present here, officials from various departments, friends from press and media, ladies and gentlemen, namaskar and good evening to all of you present here. Today marks a significant milestone in our journey towards justice and the rule of law as we gather here for the foundation stone laying ceremony of our new High Court building. It is with immense happiness, pride and gratitude that I stand before you on this significant occasion. First of all, I would like to express my sincere thankfulness to the Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Sikkim, Honorable Sri Justice Vishwanathan Samarji, and the esteemed High Court family for inviting me with all your heart. And for me, it is a privilege and a proud moment to share the dais with the Honorable Chief Justice of Sikkim as the chief guest of this important program and jointly lay the foundation stone of the new High Court building of this remarkable evening. It is also to mention here that today is Ganadhipa Sankasti Chaturthi, very auspicious day of Lord Ganesha, who is associated with the earth element. It is very remarkable that the most auspicious day has been chosen by our Honorable Chief Justice. I have high regards for him for his knowledge and far-sightedness. Sikkim is privileged to have him as our Chief Justice. Here I also take this opportunity to underline and cordial relations, collaborative work and mutual approaches for the well-being of the people of Sikkim. The foundation stone of the High Court represent the very foundation of justice, equality, and the protection of the fundamental rights. Our commitment to uphold the principles of a just and fair legal system is unwavering. And this new High Court building stands as an evidence of our collective commitment. As we embark on the construction of this state-of-the-art facility, we envision a judiciary that is efficient and effective as well as accessible to every citizen of the state. A High Court is not just only a splendid physical structure, it is indeed the embodiment of justice for all. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all those who have contributed to making this project a reality, including the Honorable Minister, respected Secretary, dear architects, engineers and all the individuals who have worked tirelessly putting all their effort. Together we are laying the groundwork for a judicial system that will serve the people with integrity and uphold the principle of justice. I also would like to thank and appreciate the Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Sikkim for his profound suggestion and guideline towards making this project more efficient and successful. My gratitude goes to each and every individual who has contributed towards the development of this project. and to those dedicated behind the screen. Without those contributions, this project would not have been staged and brought to this level of success. This High Court building is a place where the legal activities will be displayed, granting justice for all with fairness and as a whole. It is a symbol of our collective commitment to the ideals of democracy, equality, and the rule of law. As we move forward, let us speak well of the true strength of our legal system is ability and commitment in protecting the rights and liberties of every citizen. The High Court is the beacon of justice, a place where truth prevails and where the rights of the people are always safeguarded. Let the construction of our new High Court building facilitate everyone concerned and let the High Court a symbol of justice strength to all the generation to come. I extend my gratitude to and best wishes to everyone dedicated towards the construction of this new High Court building. And lastly, I thank the organizing committee for systematically arranging the program of this evening under the patronage of the Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Sikkim. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Sikkim.
Thank you, sir. The High Court and the entire judicial fraternity is indeed grateful for your constant support. With this, I request all the dignitaries on the dais to kindly proceed to unveil the plaque and also for laying the foundation stone. May I request the learned Registrar Judicial Service and learned CPC High Court of Sikkim to usher the honorable dignitaries to the foundation stone laying site. Thank you.
एसपी सर छोड़ना एसपी सर देखें पुरुषाय शासते सहस्रकोट ओम स्वस्ति इंद्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति न ताक्षरिष्टनेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ओम तस्य श्री परमात्मने नमः। हरिः ओम् यतो यतः समीयसे ततो नो अभयं कुरु सन्नः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्न पशुभ्यः हरि ओम नमः संभवाय च मयो भवाय च नमः शंकराय च महेश्वराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च ओम अम्बिकें बालिकें नमानयति कशन ससदृष्टं च धर्मां देवीं पवित्रं पुरुषासनं ओम पुरुषागशक्ति नमो नमः। ओम यतो यतः समीयसे ततो नो अभयं कुरु सन्न कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्न पशुभ्यो ओम श्रीन केशवः सदा प्राप्ति द्युलोके को चिरञ्जीवी सदा सुखी। मानक्षन्दमतमानुक्षितं मानोवधिः पितरमुतमान प्रियास्तन्नो रुद्ररीरिक येनवत्ते नमोऽस्तु ते जातो यत् स्वामिः शेहे ततो नो अभयं कुरु शन्यकुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्न ॐ तस्य श्री परमात्मने नमः ॐ वशो पवित्रमसि सतधारं वशो पवित्रमसि सहस्रधारं देवस्वा पुनातु वशो पवित्रेण सतधारेण सुद्वाकामदुग्ध बोली अम्बे माता की जय धरा माता की जय
परमेश्वर पिता पुत्र अनि पवित्र आत्मा परमेश्वर तपाईँ ख्रिस्ट येशूको नाममा सबैलाई धन्यवाद दिन्छौँ। सिक्किमको लागि प्रभु तपाईँले जुन योजना बनाउनु भएको छ तपाईँको योजनाको निम्ति हामी तपाईँलाई धन्यवाद दिन्छौँ र विशेष गरी आजको दिन जुन प्रभु यस ठाउँमा जुन भवन बनिनलाई बिन्ती सबै कुरा मान्छौँ येशू ख्रिस्टको नाममा।
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والشمس وضحاها
जिन्ना शोभ मनोरथम लै करके आप जी चरण प्रसन्न किए गए हैं सो शोभ मनोरथ संपूर्ण करने मेहर करे हथ रखना किसी प्रकार का भी नाम देना संपूर्णता तक सारे कार्य आप ही मेहर करे हथ रख के कार्य संपूर्ण करवा ने कृपा करनी आप जी होना करो कृपा नहीं पत्थर का रक्षण कर रख के आज प्रारंभ करने की आज्ञा बख्शिश करो और जब जी कमा करने समाजे कार्य रास करने से ही गुरु प्यारे मिलने जिन्हों के मिलने की आप जी का नाम चितावे नानक नाम चढ़ती कला तेरे भाने सरबत का भला। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। बोले सो निहाल सत श्री अकाल। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह।
महात्मने नमः हरिः ओम वसो पवित्रमसि सतधारं वसो पवित्रमसि सहस्रधारं दुक्ष हरि ओम स्वस्ति श्री परमात्मने नमः। मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनोहरि।
तपाईँ कहाँ कुन मन्दिर हो? खानु है हो है दुर्गा मन्दिर त राम्रो है।
मानयति कर्षणः सशस्त्रस्वकः सुभद्रिकाङ्कां पिल्लवासिनीं हरिः ओम द्यो शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगो शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोगदयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगो शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्ति शान्ति क्षमा शान्तिरेधि देवी प्रपन्नाति हरि प्रसिद्ध माता जगतो अखिलस्य प्रसिद्ध विश्वेश्वरी बोलिए अम्बे माता की जय।
पास्ता साहब आप इधर आ जाइए। भारी होगा बैलेंस लामा जी आप इधर।
मुख्यमन्त्रीसँग आउनुभएको उहाँले आफ्नो फोटो खिचाउने तस्बिर हामीले आफ्नो आफ्नो धर्मद्वारा आफ्नो ग्रन्थद्वारा पाठ गरेपछि समय मुख्यमन्त्रीज्यूले यसको विधिवत रूपमा आफ्नो कार्यक्रमद्वारा यसको
आपको पहले रेक्टिफिकेशन
हाँ वो करवा देंगे आप लोग। The only thing that we have to do, that may not be good enough. I have spoken to CS also. एक दूसरा रास्ता निकल के वो करने से एक इन होगा एक आउट होगा, one way होता है। That is already. I am talking about entry from the main road. This is the main road. There will be one more road. Now we have got to the road setbacks.
Total on the side. सर्भिस एरिया जजेसको सर माथिपट्टि अप्पर लेभल अप्पर लेभल सर यहाँ चाहिँ अब त्यो गेस्टहरूको जजेस चाहिँ यहाँ माथि यो चाहिँ किन गऱ्यौँ भने सर हामीले दिस विल बी वान अफ न्यू ग्रिन बिल्डिङ त्यसले गर्दा नेचुरल लाइट
As much as possible,
Sir, use it. Sir,
बहुत अच्छा सबै ठिक हो कि तर हामीलाई रोडको चाहिँ हामीलाई अलिक तर होइन आइसिआरलाई लेख्यो भने त्यो हुन्छ
together, so leading
टाढो भयो सुन यसो नि यहाँबाट अब एउटा लुम्सेट जाँदैछ नियर बाई आलमपुर भन्दा त लुम्सेट ब्याङ्केट हल है
त्यसको बाहिर चाहिँ फेरि ओपन टेरेस गार्डन त्यसमा कि स्पिल ओभर मान्छे बेसी इन-हाउस.
Thank you, honorable dignitaries, and thank you all for your blessings and prayers today. Today also marks another important chapter in the annals of the High Court of Sikkim in launching the compilation of High Court of Sikkim Practice and Procedural Rules and Orders published by the High Court of Sikkim. I must mention that this has resulted due to the guidance and initiative of the Honorable the Chief Justice, who had passionately expressed the need for such a compilation. I must also inform that this official launch of the compilation ought to have taken place in the month of October of this year, but due to the glacial lake outburst flood, the same was deferred. I most humbly request the Honorable Chief Minister, the Honorable Chief Justice, and other honorable dignitaries on the dais to be gracious enough to formally launch the compilation. Thank you all. Before we formally conclude the program, may I now call upon Mr. Prajwal Katiwara, Learned Registrar General, High Court of Sikkim, to offer his vote of thanks.
Thank you, Gangtok. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of the High Court of Sikkim to the honorable dignitaries on and off the dais, as well as all distinguished guests who have graced this special occasion with their gracious presence. First of all, we would like to express our profound gratitude to the Honorable Chief Minister of Sikkim for his generous presence. Their participants, as also previously mentioned, there has always been an unparalleled and tangible support from the Honorable Chief Minister of Sikkim to improve the judicial infrastructure in the state in coordination with the High Court. The present program would in fact not have been possible without the support of his government. Thank you very much, sir. We would also like to express our deep and profound gratitude to my Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice, for his Lordship's kind and gracious presence on this special occasion. It may not be known to some of you that on noticing that the present High Court infrastructure, owing to space constraints, clearly fell short of ensuring smooth judicial administration in the state, that the Honorable the Chief Justice was pleased to immediately take up the matter and after due consideration identify the present land for construction of the new High Court building and complex. In fact, after the identification of the present land, the Honorable Chief Justice and the Honorable Judges gave a great deal of personal thought, time and attention to the matter with the able assistance of the engineers and architects of the Buildings and Housing Department, Government of Sikkim, and after approval of the architectural drawings of the proposed new High Court building by the Honorable Full Court, the same were forwarded to the state government. Kudos to the state government for having promptly acted on the matter, as a result of which we are witnessing the present foundation stone laying ceremony in a record time. With regard to the compilation of the High Court Practice and Procedure Rules and Orders launched officially today, it was going to officially launch today. It was, I'm sorry, lost the page. It was on considering that there had been scant or no publication of such compilations previously that the Honorable the Chief Justice was pleased to direct the High Court Registry to immediately compile and publish the relevant practice and procedure rules, as well as the relevant directions and orders of the High Court. Although, as mentioned by Ms. Denka, the Registrar, the above compilation was to be officially launched in October. It was owing to the unprecedented and disastrous flash floods during early October that it had to be deferred till today. We would thus express a particular sense of gratitude to my Lord, the Honorable the Chief Justice, High Court of Sikkim. Thank you very much, my Lord. We also owe a deep sense of gratitude to the Honourable Speakers, Sikkim Legislative Assembly, for sparing his precious time and gracing this event with his presence. Thank you, sir. We are also thankful to the Honourable Mr. Justice Meenakshi Bandhan Rai and Honourable Mr. Justice Bhaskar Raj Pradhan, Honourable Judges of the High Court, for her ladyships and lordships' gracious presence and for readily agreeing to be a part of this program. We also express our gratitude to the Cabinet Minister, former judges of this High Court, Justice Subba and Justice Wangdi, the Area MLA, Chief Secretary Mr. Pathak, the Director General of Police, the Secretaries to the Honourable Chief Minister, the Principal District and Session Judge, other judicial officers, secretaries and other officers of various departments of the government, Sri Anindya Mukherjee, our special invitee, senior advocates, bar executives and other members of the legal fraternity for taking off time to be present for this program. Ladies and gentlemen, as is obvious, an event of this magnitude cannot happen overnight. In this regard, we would especially like to thank the entire team of the Buildings and Housing Department and the High Court Registry who have been working tirelessly behind the scene to make this program a grand success. To name a few, we thank Mr. Y.M. Gautam, Chief Engineer, and his team, which includes Ms. Pema Donka, Additional Chief Engineer, Mr. Furba Bhutia, Superintending Engineer, Mr. Khemraj Dhakal, Mr. Tasi Chopel Lepcha, Assistant Engineer, and Mr. M. Chetri, Junior Engineer of the Buildings and Housing Department. As the Registrar General of this High Court, let me also express my gratitude to our new Registrar, Mrs. Sonam Denka Wangdi, whose works and efforts towards making the program successful deserve a special mention here. From the High Court, the whole program was overseen by her under constant guidance of the Honourable Chief Justice and with the assistance of Ms. Samjata Pradhan Reader, Mr. Neeraj Rajalu Court Officer, Mrs. Sarlas Subba, Mr. Yogesh Bhandari and Mr. Lode Nordu Bhutia of the High Court Registry. Last but not the least, our sincere thanks also goes to the officers and staff of the Sikkim Judicial Academy, in particular the Director, Mr. N.G. Sherpa, for their support in successfully conducting the present program. The traffic personnel, the Gangtok District Police, the event managers and caterers for today's program, and the press and media for their efforts in ensuring that this program is smoothly held. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. I now request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem. Thank you. With the permission of the Honourable Chief Justice, may I now declare the function closed. With this, I request the Honourable dignitaries on the dais and the first two rows to kindly proceed to the banquet hall of the Sikkim Judicial Academy for refreshments. I kindly request the learned CPC and the learned Registrar Judicial Service to usher the Honourable dignitaries. Similarly, I request all the other respected guests to kindly proceed to the ground floor of the academic block of Sikkim Judicial Academy for refreshments. May I request the ushering team to guide the guests to the venue. Thank you all and a very good night.